Hello, 2027. Thank you for completing the first draft of your argumentative letter. Today, you are going to make your argumentative letter even stronger and more convincing to your reader by adding ethos, pathos, and/or logos. Here's a reminder of the 3 rhetorical appeals. A reminder that pathos is the use of emotions. So, coming up with some kind of heartwarming story, personal experience, humor. So, anything to inspire emotions that are happy, full of joy, or even sad, angry, fearful. Anything that you write that causes a reader to feel emotion can be convincing using pathos. Logos is the use of logical argument. So anytime a reader reads statistics or facts, statistics and facts are also really convincing because it lets the reader know that something is real and something is true. And then there's ethos, which is the use of credibility and trust. So giving a name to a celebrity or an expert or an organization is also convincing because if a reader feels they can trust the source, then they are convinced because the source is an expert in the topic. So your criteria for success is when you go back to your argumentative letter about whether you agreed or disagreed that schools should reopen in the fall, I would like for you to include at least 3 examples of ethos, pathos, and/or logos. So when I mean 3 examples, you could do 3 examples of ethos, you could do 3 examples of pathos, you can do 3 examples of logos, or you can do a combination. You could do one of each. You could do these 2, or you could do 2 pathos and 1 logos. It's really up to you. I just want to see 3 overall examples. And for me to be able to see them, please make sure you highlight those examples in pink and to look at the pink examples in the example argumentative letter on the next page. So you can see here it says turn to the next page to see pink examples. And here we have our pit bull letter from last week. So this was a letter convincing the reader that pit bulls make good pets. And everything I put in pink, everything I put in pink is an example of ethos, pathos, or logos. So you can see here that I put 2 examples of the rhetorical appeals in my hot introduction. So I'm going to read them for you. This is the dog who licks your face when it sees you. This is the dog who runs to fetch the ball, but then forgets to return it to you. You love your dog. Now, imagine people saying that your dog should not be a pet. So as I mentioned before, I'm using pathos, emotions, as a way to hook or draw my reader in to have them feel emotions to want to keep reading. So using this kind of language, having my reader imagine a dog and feeling so much joy with the actions that dogs do, such as licking your face and bringing you a ball, that inspires joy, the feeling of joy. And then suddenly saying, now picture people telling you that you shouldn't have a dog, then suddenly those pathos emotions would make the reader feel anger. So switching the emotions written in the sentences from joy to anger, those are really powerful and effective in making the reader want to believe that pit bulls would make great pets. And then here, which is still in my hot introduction, I have, think about the 4 million pit bull owners who currently feel that way when people say that their beloved pet dog should be banned. So here, I have a number, 4 million pit bull owners. That's a lot, and that's the truth. And you can see here that suddenly I use logos because it's a statistic. So having an example of statistics helps the reader know that they can visualize the number, 4 million. It's truth, it's convincing, it's logos. So there you can see I already did 2 examples, but my criteria for success is letting me know that I need 3. So if I go down, I'm trying to think of where else I would want to put it. So if I want to, I could add it in the to conclusion. I can add more. I could do ethos, pathos, or logos. Or I can add it to some of my re-paragraphs, and I could put it in my explanation sentences, because when I explain something, not only am I explaining how the evidence connects to the reason or claim, I'm also trying to convince or persuade my reader to accept the argument that I have. So let me look here. My reason here is that pit bulls should be pets because they have an admirable history. And then in my second piece of evidence, it says here, in the same article, it is mentioned as working dogs, they were kept as hunters and guardians, as well as herders and pets. And then in the explanation, I start off with, in the past, people chose pit bulls as their pets because pit bulls hunted animals and guarded their human owners. Being a hunter and a guardian are probably roles pit bulls still play today. Okay, so I already did ghost pepper explanation where I didn't use sentence frames, and I want to make my ghost pepper explanation even stronger by adding ethos, pathos, or logos. So I think for this, because it says here that pit bulls used to be hunters and guardians, it makes me think that they would be useful and they're also protective. So I can see how pathos and making people feel emotions could be beneficial here. So I think I'm going to try that. I'm going to first put it in pink so that it's easier to see. And I can say something like, pit bulls were known as hunters and guardians, meaning that they are strong animals who serve to, who are determined to keep humans safe. Just think about you and your family. If an intruder comes to your house, wouldn't it be a good idea to have a pit bull guardian keep you all safe? So let me read this again. Pit bulls were known as hunters and guardians, meaning that they're strong animals who are determined to keep humans safe. Just think about you and your family. If an intruder comes to your house, wouldn't it be a good idea to have a pit bull guardian keep you all safe? So that's me definitely using pathos, because now I'm getting my reader to feel emotions of fear and also urgency, and having them feel that would make them more impelled or compelled to want to have a pit bull as a pet, which supports my argument that pit bulls should be pets. So here you can see I have 3 examples. I used 2 pathos and I used 1 logos. And my suggestion for you all is use as many as you can. You don't have to stick to the minimum 3. In fact, your writing will be even stronger if you do as much as you can. So just take a look at your argumentative letter. So let me just go back and say, in your argumentative letter about schools, about whether you agree / disagree, just so it's clear, if schools should reopen. Yeah, so just use this criteria for success to help you, use this example to help you, Add as much ethos, pathos, and logos to your argumentative letter about whether you agree or disagree if school should reopen. And that is it. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.